Hilfiger, nigga. And we got him. Oh, we got him, kids, on a Sunday morning. Oh, he was riding around yesterday somewhere in Memphis. That new NBA young boy was blasting. Nigga couldn't control himself. I got the burner. You know I got the burner. Damn. Folks, I'm an atheist, but I have to ask you, with all due respect, did God step in and intervene? Did God reach his hand down, or its hand, or whatever you claim that force to be, to intervene, to save that little nigga from himself? And don't let me find out he's FBA, Foundational Black American. Oh my goodness. They took a L out in Oakland, California, in case you don't know, with the California Reparations Task Force. Oh, they fumbled the bag. And now this little nigga has fumbled the bag because the Memphis Grizzlies, this morning, according to TMZ.com, have suspended him until further notice. Got him! Got him! Troll babies, good morning, good afternoon. How you guys doing, huh? I just got back from the gym. I'm hyped, I'm charged. I had a beautiful biracial breakfast. I'm gonna tell you about that shortly. And let me just say, folks, I do not have a sponsorship deal. But however, a buddy of mine, peace to the guy, Shabazz, he's working with somebody right now to see if we can get this thing here, on board, along with the Tommy Hilfiger gear, huh? Snoop, D-O-double-G, the Cali Red Wine, 19 Crimes. And salute to the young lady over at Ingles, here in the Atlanta metro area, the supermarket, Ingles. I go there, that's where I get it from. And she said to me 2 days ago, she said, you be having pool parties? Why you buying so much of that Snoop Dogg wine? I said, no, I don't have company in my house at all. I said, that's just for my own personal consumption. She said, damn, it's good like that? Hey, Sunday morning, early afternoon, wherever you may be. Oh, Ja Morant, in case you don't know, NBA basketball, great, huh? Big time deal with the NBA. I forget how much. You guys can work all that out in the comment section. Riding around yesterday, and salute to the nigga who was driving. He couldn't help himself. They had that new NBA young boy blasting. That nigga, he's live. He panned the goddamn phone, and there you see Ja with the burner. And salute to Ja Morant's fans who have reposted and reported him. Because they know, nigga, you play basketball. Stop it. You don't want to be out here in these streets. That's how they say it. It's not S-T-R-E-E-T-S. They say streets with a K. You play basketball. What's wrong with you? This is an early edition, Sunday morning, as I said, early afternoon. I couldn't do a show yesterday. As you know, I'm packing. I'm moving out of the Woodstock area, and I did submit my notice to vacate, so it's official. I have been throwing shit out all day yesterday, shipping boxes of Tommy Hilfiger gear up to my home. I'm going home. I'll be there for maybe 3 or 4 months, okay? Stone Harbor, New Jersey. I ain't hiding. And I want to talk to you guys today about Ja Morant. And they're calling him, what are they calling him, troll babies? Ja Wick? They're calling him Ja Wick. Like the John Wick films. Oh my God. Florida Boy J, let's get it cracking right now. FBJ, I need you on the line, big nigga. Let's go. Hold on a second, turn this phone down, goddamn, because I'm going to have to change my phone number. Just, people calling me at the wrong time of goddamn night. Florida Boy J should be tapping in shortly. Alpha Villains may be checking in as well. He's one of my sponsors. I got his new book right here. Uh-oh. There it is. Masculine Compromise. Alpha Villains. Okay? He's one of your premier social engineers and a content creator. And I've read, I'm up to page 21. Yeah, I read my sponsors' books when they send me, a copy. And I want to question something here on page 7. We'll get to that if he calls in Alpha Villains, all right? Okay, Sunday. Let me take a little sip now. Let me get my head right before we talk about Ja Morant. Boy, this goddamn Cali Red Snoop D.O. Double G wine, boy, huh? I'm shaking. Look at me. I'm shaking. Ooh. I'm about to do the gritty right now on you niggas. Okay. Florida Boy Jay, good morning. Good afternoon, sir. Are you there? Florida Boy Jay. Give me
Man, nigga, Star.
Let's go.
We here.
Let's go.
We outside. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah, to the biracial queens. I'm putting respect on the biracial queens today. But go ahead, yeah, happy Mother's Day. And go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, and much respect to the biracial, curly head, funny colored eyed, black women out there. They're holding a special place in our hearts. But let's get to these niggas. John Wick 2, the off-season spin the bins. He's coming out here blasting NBA YoungBoy. I think the song was Big Truck or something. He's in the car. Niggas wearing red. We don't know if that's any type of blood affiliation legend. We don't know, but niggas riding around bumping that NBA YoungBoy with the top down.
So woo!
They got the blamer on hand. John Morant getting loose off the Migos. You know what I'm saying? Drunk and loose, hot, threw the blamer in the air. Homie seen it because they on IG Live, and the homie trying to hide the phone. Salute to his homie, the dog. No, the bag was getting compromised when John Morant pulled the blamer out the side. Like we got a ride on the nigga. Like we just might be going to get a bucket of chicken somewhere, and the ops might be out there.
Now hang on a second, Florida Boy Jay. We need that guy's name who was driving. He's in.
We don't have it yet. We're all trying to figure it out.
Hold on, troll babies.
IG.
Chat niggas, whoever's in that goddamn live, email me right now. Let's put that nigga on blast because now the bag has been fumbled. And let's start right here, Florida Boy Jay. Is Ja Morant, foundational Black American, part of the new FBA wave, who fumbled the bag out in Oakland, California. Is Ja Morant FBA?
Ja Morant is FBA from Sumter, South Carolina. You know that those South Carolina niggas are proud, a foundational Black American. That's one of the, homes of niggas, of FBA niggas. So he is from South Carolina. That's a small community, Sumter. There's no outside route to him. That is an FBA lineage claim you have to hold down.
Okay.
Niggas can't try to move the goalposts now. It's too late.
Yeah.
That's an FBA brother.
COINTELPRO was involved. The ops put the gas in the car. White supremacy
and
filmed him. No. Okay, so hang on a second. Off season, and this was in Memphis, Tennessee, to be precise, where I'm sure you can ride around with the gun. It's not a big deal. But this is Ja Morant. How much is he worth? What is his contract with the Grizzlies? You're a basketball guy. I don't know, please.
Ja Morant, he signed a 5-year deal for $194.3 million with the Grizzlies.
Oh, Jesus.
All guaranteed, and an annual average salary of $38.8 million.
Oh.
Next year, he's set to earn a base salary of $33.5 million. So $33.5 million right now, down the drain, like a fresh dump in the morning.
Well, now, he did go through some type of, I don't want to say anger management, but some type of rehabilitation. I guess he got his mind right for a little while, and he came back and he couldn't help himself, on that. What's the name of the NBA YoungBoy? Is it a brand new album? What is it? What was he listening to?
The Biggest Op.
I don't know.
The Biggest Op. I think that's NBA YoungBoy's last album he dropped over the weekend. Let me find the official title. I think that's the name of the song, right?
Okay.
The Richest Op. That's what it is.
Ooh.
I found the guy's IG. Actually, and I found DTAP2 _D.
Email me, please. Email me right now.
I got you.
I got Windows. I got Windows open, and hang on, sit tight. It's It's early. It's Sunday.
Yeah, we running down.
Troll babies, any information that you need me to speak about with regards to this story, please do so. Dana with the data. I called Dana. Dana was just waking up hours ago. Man, what's going? Sound like she was out, living that life, popping bottles. I said, you know about Ja Morant? She said, no, what's going on? I said the nigga out there with the burner again. But now Dana first called me. Before you and I were talking to say he's been suspended. So, Dana, if you're out there, you want to chime in, cool. If not, I'll promote your channel just the same, all right? Let me get to my showrunner, Florida Boy Jay. Sit tight a second. Guys, showrunner, Jonathan Majors. The bottom has fallen out. He now has hit rock bottom, and according to multiple reports, he's dating an old D-list cougar. Megan Good, she's in some new Shazam movie. I'm sure she's lit on BET. Somebody divorced her a year or so ago, some Christian man. I don't know if we can call her a MILF, because a MILF, what is that? Mother I'd like to F. Is she a mother? I don't think so. Troll babies, we riding on that nigga today, Jonathan Majors. He has fallen into the depths of despair. This nigga went from dating high-end white bitches, from Australia or Prague, wherever, to Megan Good. Phone lines open right now. Hold on a second, and everything should be set up and situated. I have not had time to Google Megan Good. Was she in that movie with T.I. with the roller skating, or was that?
No, that was Lauren London.
Lauren London. Okay. I get my D-list black actresses mixed up. Okay, that was Lauren. But Megan Good, is she on Power, BMF? I don't watch none of that shit. I watched the first episode of BMF. Is she on those shows? Do you know, Florida Boy J?
Who, Megan Good? No, she had a show called Brooklyn on HBO or one of these streaming channels, whatever. It had one season. I
Never heard of it.
Second season, but she had some shows.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, either way, Jonathan Majors, who is there's talks that he's being put out of the MCU, and is this a play, folks, for him to align himself with the black audience? The black audience is very forgiving. Yeah, come on home, brother. Come on home. I don't know. Hey, Alpha Villains, I see you, sir. Are you calling in? Okay, he says shortly. He'll be calling in my sponsor, one of my sponsors, Masculine Compromise. Okay, Florida Boy Jay, did you email me the link to the driver who was
who
had
got him.
shit lit with Ja Morant? Okay, hold on a second. Who is this nigga? I hope he's gang related. Hold on. Okay.
From so far, he's a YouTuber.
Okay.
He has a brand. He's selling merch.
Okay. He's lit.
T-shirts.
He's lit. He's riding around with Ja Morant. He's lit.
With the blicky, it's time.
No.
On.
Hang on. I don't see a blicky in his hand. He was the driver. He's filming this fuck nigga.
No, he's smart.
Ja Morant.
No.
He's smart.
No, we got to give the blicky to the crash dummy.
Right.
We got to give the blicky to the nigga who has to prove himself to us.
Now,
We got to lay a nigga down.
Are you sure this is him? Are you sure this is his page?
Yes. That's him. That's his page.
This nigga's popping.
Ja Morant's the next Tupac, man. Ja Morant's the next Tupac. He riding around with real niggas, and he gonna have to lay a nigga down to get his flag, get his props up, and he going to going to jail like a Ray Carew for trying to cosplay as a street nigga. This is exactly why the niggas in California, you ain't getting reparations, because when you give an FBA nigga money like this is what they fear. This is a bad example, but this is the example they use for FBAs. This is the reason why we're not going to give you young 20-year-old niggas no money, because we'll give you money and you'll ride around with $33 million and still be packing a 9 in the Glock and pulling out Dracos on niggas like this is season 6 of Snowfall. You niggas think this is some type of a game? This you John Wick in real life. You dunking the ball. You playing against LeBron. You got sneaker deals.
Take a breath. Florida Boy J. Hang on a second. Now, do not follow my lead. I am the objective hater, never a player hater. I've been supporting foundational Black Americans, and I'm part of the lineage, regardless of who thinks or says what. But you, sir, have been waving the flag for FBA. Now you sound like an op. You sound like you're switching up. What's going on? What's going on, man? Seriously.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not switching up at all. I'm still 100% for cash reparations. I'm 100% for the movement. Just because Gavin Newsom came out and didn't directly support reparations, cash payments in California does not mean the task force or any other state-based lineage or state-based organization to stop the push or the run. But what I am going to do is be objective enough to point out the bad apples in the bunch and exit them out and show that these are bad examples, but these are the same ones that they will use to prove or make any point that we shouldn't get cash payments as FBA.
Okay, let's slow it down. Let's have a slow conversation. It's Sunday. Hang on a second. And I just want to check this guy's YouTube channel. It says YouTuber, but I need a link to his page. I need to see just how lit this nigga is. And you're sure this is the guy who was driving with Ja Morant? Looks like him, but I'm not sure. Yes,
this is the guy.
The MBNO logo wear.
This is come up. This is his come up.
I can respect that.
Trying to get the pop off his hat, his shirt.
Yeah.
The YouTube links. Yeah.
I can respect that. Hang on a second. Hang. If you find his YouTube channel, please, because I can't find it. I'm on his IG page. And if there's anybody from DJ Academics team, I fuck with Ac heavy. Any chat niggas in the live chat, has Academics addressed this yet? He's usually on top of this shit fast. I think Ac and was it NBA YoungBoy? Who's he going back and forth with? That I'm not sure, but
yeah, it's NBA YoungBoy. Yeah, NBA YoungBoy is going back and forth with Ac. Dirt, Dirt just dropped that Church Barney anthem with J. Cole over the weekend, but we're not going to get on that.
Okay, not just yet. Hang on, area code 281. 281, good afternoon. Florida Boy Jay's on the line with me. Are you there? 281. Turn that down in the background. Are you ready? Yes, no, we have to go. Okay, goodbye. I can't play around. Yes, good afternoon. How are you? 313. 313.
313. Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Like, I don't see what's the big deal with like, all right, he's a celebrity, he's in the league, and he got a gun. So so the fuck what? You know what I'm saying? He's a young black man.
Sir, you're gonna watch your mouth on a Sunday.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But let's say someone rolls up on him and takes what he got, and he ain't got the gun on him, and we lose Ja Morant. Now it's R.I.P. Ja. But yeah, now he got something to protect himself, and just because he might be young, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, America was founded on guns, like bombs bursting in the air. This whole country is founded on war, bloodshed, and firearms.
Right.
So I don't see why they tripping on him.
Okay. Are you a basketball fan? Who are we speaking to, sir? Are you a father?
Oh yeah. I'm a huge fan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. Been a fan.
Okay.
My whole life.
Okay. Why? Tell us why the NBA comes down so hard on its players and the clauses, the stipulations, and the contracts. And when you sign these, you know what it is. What you're saying by way of passion, I can respect that because I've said that. Yeah, it's just a gun, yada, yada, yada. But he went through a whole rehabilitation process. We're talking about a man, not a 10-year-old kid, not a 16-year-old, a man. He knows what the responsibility of being that athlete, that huge star, if you will. Why does the NBA act the way it does towards players? Please.
I mean, I can only say why the NBA act their way towards its black players. It started with Allen Iverson. Like first, like everybody was coming, but there was no dress code. But then they see Allen Iverson kind of being, I don't want to say, for lack of better words, which is really not the right word to use, but being hip hop or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh no, we got to stop this. He's influencing the youth. Okay. Now they put on the dress code. Now it's like every time a black man, goes out of line or goes, or for lack of better words, every time a black man seems to do something against what the establishment says is to be right or wrong, they blow it up. And I just don't dig that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like even though he may not be from the hood, he's still a black man. He's still rich out here, and he gotta defend himself. Because I know wherever he goes, he's a target.
Okay. Stay with me. As long as we're not using excessive profanity, we're going to use a little bit, but just let's get off to a rational start if we can. So what about the responsibility that goes with this, that money, that position? Does he want to be a thug? Again, we just went through this thing with him. You guys, you're a basketball fan, so I'm giving you, the credit to having more insight. Is there any responsibility that should fall upon Ja Morant?
I mean, like you said, like unfortunately, there is some responsibility. I disagree with it because he is a public figure. But when Charles Barkley said way back in the day, he said, look.
Sir, let's stay on Ja Morant. Hang on, sir, let's stay on Ja Morant. Fat Man Barkley is ringless. Fat Man Barkley never won the big one. Fat Man Barkley didn't even like to practice and work out. Never mind Fat Man Barkley. He's a hoe-ass nigga. He's going to say anything he can say now to get the bag, okay? Let's focus on this young man who's extremely talented. But we are the media. We're going to light his ass up like a Christmas tree. Don't get it twisted. What responsibility should he have? If he's sitting there, he's grooving or whatever. Maybe it's just in the afternoon and he sees his friend streaming. What responsibility does he have?
I mean, to give a different perspective, that's why I love your show. Been watching it for years.
Thank you,
man. He has that responsibility because he is in that public light, and so when you're in that public light, you got kids or even you got just people in general looking at you. You are a huge influence on the world you live in. So I'm pretty sure when he got caught the first time and he had to go to rehab and he had to go to classes and all that, I know they told him, look, Ja, people are looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be like I said, I don't agree with it, but whether you like it or not, you can't be waving guns. You're not your average nigga. I mean, you're not your average.
Yeah.
I don't mean to curse on your show. My bad.
That's okay. You can use the N-word. You can use the N-word. You have achieved a level of greatness.
True.
Most people
only 1%.
Most people cannot do on that hardwood floor what he does and other professional basketball players. I give him that.
True.
But for that bag, there's a certain level of responsibility. I'll give you the last word to finish up, sir, if you can do it within 20 seconds. You have the last word.
My last word, like I said, I don't feel sorry for him because he's a young man. He's learning. But, don't get on his back for being a public figure. At the same time, know that he's a 20-year-old black man and give him a little leeway.
Okay. Thank you for the call. Thank you. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Florida Boy J, sit tight, sir. Sit tight. Let me find out. Ja Morant is FBA. Please don't start that white supremacy nonsense. COINTELPRO, the ops. Oh, he's just riding around, feeling it. And pulled out the burner. Florida Boy J, what does the burner represent? The blicky, the ooh-op, we used to call it back in the days. The ooh-op. What does that represent?
That represents it's about to go down. I'm about to shoot somebody if we see the ops. I have a still image I'm sending to your email now of Ja Morant in the car holding the gun.
I saw it.
With both hands up.
I saw it. I have it right here. I got it.
Yeah, so with this image, with this still picture of him holding the gun in the air, rapping NBA YoungBoy lyrics, there's no reason, no point as an NBA athlete, multi-million-dollar endorsement deal player, you should be riding around with guns in your hand. What is this, a Glock 9, some type of Ruger, in your hand, loaded, riding around the city in the off-season. Now, if you had your gun on your side, on your hip, somewhere concealed in the back seat, it's understandable.
Yeah.
But no regular citizen should be riding around with.
Well, hang on, Florida Boy J. Hold on. Now, open carry means just that. Open carry. I open carry here in Georgia and other states. and you have to make the gun visible. See, there's a difference between open carry and a concealed weapon. So technically, if the police saw him riding around waving the blicky, he wouldn't necessarily be pulled over because the police can see it. I know that sounds crazy. But I ride around in a bulletproof, I don't even say what I'm driving now, but my Benz is bulletproof, and I have another vehicle that's bulletproof because, niggas might run down from 20, 30 years ago, and the AR-15 is on the back seat in the open. You can't have it in a case. The sheriffs, the deputies, the police, they want to see it's open. Does that make sense? Do you know what open carry means?
That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
And I understand that point. But what I am still saying is we are not talking about regular citizens or even people like me or you. We're talking about, like you said, the 1% athlete, the type of people who can hire armed bodyguards or have niggas around there with the blicky and are not going to be We're not.
No. You're right. You're right.
I'm not thinking about
No, you're right. I was just saying technically, just on a technical note,
Understand.
It's better to have it
right.
open. I wear a holster. I was in Subway last night, with the holster. You can see it, and then some people are uneasy when they see it. And of course, I've got the black latex gloves. That's for health reasons, So they assume, whoa, why's he got the gun out? But, it's by way of law enforcement, they prefer to see it as opposed to having it tucked under your shirt. Hang on a second. I want to bring in the sponsor real quick, Florida Boy Jay. Is he on the line? Area code 954, Alpha Villains. Is that you, sir, on a Sunday?
Good afternoon, Star. How's it going?
It's going, man. I got your book. Thank you for sending me a copy.
Thank you for your support.
I've only read a couple of chapters thus far. I do want to ask you about this. But first, tell us about your platform and comments on Ja Morant, if you have any. Please, Alpha Villains.
Yeah, I appreciate your assistance, Star. Yeah, so I go by the name of AV, a.k.a. Alpha Villains. I have a YouTube channel, Troll Babies. I have a morning show as well on my channel called Finish Your Breakfast with AV. It's live weekday mornings. We talk about a number of topics. We're focusing more so from a masculine perspective. Okay. We talk about relationships. We talk about women. And we just basically talk about masculine issues and how, to be unapologetically masculine when doing things.
Okay. And do you ever or have you ever discussed the different temperaments between dark-skinned women and biracial? I had a beautiful experience this morning. I'm serious. I had a beautiful experience at the drive-through with a high yellow young female, and it made, even though the breakfast was trash, it was Burger King, it just put me in a right place and space. You've never done a show on the different temperaments between dark-skinned women and light-skinned?
Not necessarily, but that's definitely a good idea.
Please
I haven't
do.
done any shows about the temperament.
Please, and let me jump out the window now and say, early in the mornings, I think dark-skinned women are more contentious and aggy. I'm jumping out the window and saying that, okay?
For a Sunday, I agree. But Star, I would like to comment on Jonathan Majors and Megan Good, if I could.
Okay. I'm going to leave your information on the screen. Jonathan Majors, I'm saying he has hit rock bottom. He went from dating high-end, young, Caucasian, whether they're Euro trash or not. He has now fallen into despair. He's dating a 45-year-old black cougar and a D-lister. What say you?
I agree. I think Jonathan Majors has definitely hit rock bottom. He definitely downgraded. He went from a pink toe to a D-list actress. She's in her 40s. She has a show on Harlem. She recently got divorced from Devon Franklin. Okay. He was a pastor, and I think she was trying to get, kind of reclaim or reset her mileage, if you will. But Jonathan Majors, instead of trying to, I think because his publicist fired him, right now he's trying to do some type of damage control, and he's definitely trying to pander back to the female audience by hooking up with a sister. But I don't think this is the right play for him. I think that things are spiraling out of control for him.
Yeah. Does she have any children? Because that would make her a MILF. I think she's just a cougar, though, right?
Yeah, I don't think she has any kids, but like you said, Star, I mean, this is a win-win for Megan. This is definitely not a win for Jonathan Majors. He was at the top of his game. Every woman was after Jonathan Majors. So for him to, make this relationship public just basically shows that he doesn't have any necessarily good standards. And I think he may be placating, like I said, to the African-American audience to try to get back in their good graces, because he is allegedly known as an aggressive man towards women.
The African American or Caribbean black audience is a very forgiving and understanding audience. They are. I mean, a lot of people they will let come home in a sense. So I think you're right. This is a win-win for Megan. I don't know what films she's been in. I don't know, and maybe I'm coming down a little too hard saying she's a D-lister. I'm sure she's
right.
I'm sure she's popping on what is it, Stars or is she on?
She's on
Power
she's on
BMF?
Amazon Prime.
What?
Yeah, she's on Amazon. She has a show called Harlem.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, Floor Boy Jay, stay there, don't go anywhere. So let's shift gears for a second. You sent me a copy of your book, Masculine Compromise: The Journey of Emasculation to Your Emancipation. There it is.
Yes.
And folks, you can get a copy right there on the screen, youtube.com/@alphavillains. I have a question with regards to page 7. And I want to
Okay.
I want to slightly challenge you, not saying you don't have research and numbers, but I just it piqued my interest. You say,
Sure.
did you know that 80% of single parent families are headed by single mothers, and to make matters worse, nearly a third of them live in poverty? I say
Yes.
I'm not sure about that. 80% live in poverty? I think, and I could be wrong, I'm just going off of my years of experience, that, poverty could mean something totally different to the masses, the dominant society, as opposed to them. Single mothers in this country for the last, and I'll say since the 80s, know how to get the bag. EBT, their freezers are packed. They get money
Yes.
for foster kids. They get all sorts of government assistance, health care, dental, the checks through the pandemic. So what do you mean? Nearly a third of them live in poverty. I disagree. I think those bitches are lit. Go ahead.
You know what? You're right. But, before I put that in the book, I definitely had to do my research. So I Googled it, and I have an excerpt here. It says, according to 2022 U.S. Census Bureau, of about 11 million single-parent families with children under the age of 18, nearly 80% of them were headed by single mothers. Now it says nearly 30% of single mothers live in poverty, while just 6% married couples fit the same statistic. This is on Google, Troll Baby, so you guys can check it out. And when I mention that, aside from those numbers, if anybody who's dealt with a single mother, et cetera, most women are not financially responsible. If you ever had to pay child support, a lot of the times the money isn't necessarily going to the children. It goes to their nails. It goes to their lopsided wigs, et cetera. Again, some of this is anecdotal, but a lot of my guys can attest to this as well. So when you look at it, men, even though women can get the bag, they have their scams on lock, et cetera, I think men, for the most part, are a little bit more financially responsible. So when you have a household that's pretty much ran by single mothers, a lot of times it could be deemed as living in poverty. That's how I came about it. Okay,
Florida Boy Jade, not that you have to chime in, but if you do want to, just, say something. Okay. I got your explanation. And again, I'm going to recommend this book to people by Alpha Villains, Masculine.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Compromise. Is there any sections in here about the comfort of moving in or living with women who have children, and how they can be a rest haven for a man who comes home from the penitentiary? Anything like that in here?
No, but I do touch on. Now, let me just be clear, guys. This book isn't here to bash single mothers. I was a product of a single mother. However, this book is primarily supposed to make men think about some of the things that didn't necessarily turn out properly in their life when maybe they're not doing things in a masculine way, and because they were probably raised by a single mother. That's what the book is geared towards.
Okay. Hey, man, thank you for tapping in, guys. Go to Alpha Villains on YouTube. He does great content. And, hey, man, anytime you catch me live or whatever, doing a topic that you may have addressed in the past, leave that in the comment section because, again, I just go off of memory sometimes. I'm a low-budget sociologist, all right?
Thank you, Star. Enjoy. Have a good show.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay.
All right, take care. All right, bye-bye.
Okay, that was Alpha Villains. Florida boy Jay.
Man, listen.
When's the next time you're going live to address Ja Wick? They're calling him Ja Wick on social media.
Nigga, I was going to go live Tuesday. Might have to move this up to Monday afternoon, Monday night.
Yeah, man.
We might have to move this story because I'm an NBA fan. We actually got a Game 7 tonight. And actually this afternoon between Celtics and Sixers. But Ja Morant, he's one of the most popular stars. He's probably a top 5 NBA, most liked, jersey seller, most emulated player. He has a high level of influence to the kids. Is on a kind of like on an Iverson level, not as quite an Iverson level, but to a lot of the kids, he's their version of an AI. So his influence, the way he pushes the culture, NBA YoungBoy is the same way, and the NBA is seeing the tribulation of how NBA YoungBoy has black men under the age of 23 and below, and how Ja Morant has a kid under the age of 18 and below. And that direct pipeline of influence, recklessness, waving the guns in the air, riding and sliding on ops is exactly why he got suspended by the team, and exactly why the NBA and us as a community need to hold Ja Morant accountable for this type of influence.
Okay, I want to jump in. And I am so sick and tired of hearing this Allen Iverson reference when it comes to bad behavior. You know, Philly is a place I've been attached to since the 70s. And I remember when he played with the 76ers, he used to hang at TGIFs all the time, buying out the bar. He was a celebrity. He was up in Piccadilly's with the rest of us, you know. Nights on Broadway for those who really, really know Philly, strip clubs and stuff like that. He never got the ring. He didn't like to practice. Ja Morant is headed down that path, if you ask me. I don't know about his workout ethic, but this may be some way of him being saved from himself. Do you think the Memphis Grizzlies will trade him? Can they trade him? Does he have a no contract clause? Do you know about that? I don't know.
He could be traded, but they're going to lowball it on maybe the marketplace. But I mean, Ja Morant is a generational talent, so I don't think it would be so difficult as far as a talent base. As far as a distraction and what he's doing to the franchise, this isn't the best time to try to trade Ja Morant. To be honest, he has a rookie maximum contract. So right now, if I can try to look into the details if he has a trade clause, if there's bird rights involved or whatever is going around, I can look for it. But at the end of the day, he signed that deal last year.
Hold on. Peace, left-handed. Can you call in? Peace, left-handed. Can you call in? Chris, I got your donation. He says, that is one of Ja's demons, the driver. Oh! Facts on facts on fact. That nigga who was driving the car, if this is who you say it is, and I'm not sure, Florida Boy Jay, if that was the driver, you driving, nigga was probably wood grain gripping, and then flashed the camera over there to that nigga and said, oh shit, the nigga got the burner. Damn, nigga, you about to fumble the bag. And he did. Thank you, Chris, for your donation. Sir Shy. Okay, where is Sir Shy? That's my main nigga on the trigger. Sir Shy, thank you for your support as always, sir. Let's get to it. Sir Shy.
What's going on, Star?
Hey, man. You tell me, Ja Morant got the burner. No, got the burner.
Yeah, the guy in the car, that's Devontae. I've been following him on Instagram, Hey, that's a real Memphis cat. And ever since he's been kicking it with him since last year, Ja Morant's been getting in incidents after incident. Now, I still don't understand why foundational Black American can't exercise his Second Amendment right.
Hold on. What's the guy's name that Ja Morant's been hanging around? What's his name again?
Devontae Pack. And so what's up for FBJ?
Well, salute to that nigga.
What's up?
Is this the right IG page _DTAP2? Is that him?
Devontae Pack. Yep, that's his IG handle.
This nigga's lit right now. Go ahead, keep saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. That's a real Tennessee cat. And listen, I do agree with the last caller. You might be able to trade Ja Morant, but you may not get the assets that you want in return. It's going to be hard to trick the Sacramento Kings to come out of Fox, or maybe trade him to Golden State for Jordan Poole or something like that. It's just you won't get the equal amount of value. So listen, Ja, you need to lawyer up, tell the NBA, yo, I didn't get any trouble. I just flashed a gun on IG. What's the big deal?
Good point.
And to another point, Shannon Sharp. Hey, Shannon Sharp. Hey, he did make a good point. Ja, you made it. Why are you acting like a gangster? Just play basketball.
Hang on, Sir Shy. Hold on a second. I hate to say I hate to say I'm holding somebody accountable. I don't rock with Shannon Sharp no more. Ever since he brought Man Disease, a.k.a. Mandices, on his show to talk about being a kingpin. He lost points with me.
Yeah.
You gave a platform to some guy from New York, loving hip-hop, sitting there talking about his mother. He put his mother up for collateral.
Yeah.
Do better, Shannon Sharp. You do better. I don't give a goddamn about Club Shay Shay. I would never, ever watch that trash. So I'm not trying to hear from Shannon Sharp right about now. So you're saying, sir?
You're right.
Saying, well, no, I'm just speaking my piece. I don't want to be right. You're saying Ja Morant should lawyer up and say, what's the big deal? I'm riding around with a gun. This is what the culture does today. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, I think that's what Ja Morant has to do. He's going to have to tell the NBA, one of his handlers has to call and be like, listen, as long as he hasn't committed a crime with that gun, you guys got to let these IG stories go. You can't be like, ooh, teacher, Ja Morant had another picture with a gun. This is overreaction. Now, I guess they can say, well, if an incident happens, then call back Sir Shy and tell him, hey, you told us to ignore it, and now he shot somebody. So, I get that, but until then, leave it alone. FBJ, am I missing something?
Florida Boy Jay, where are you?
Yeah, you are.
Come on.
Yeah, you're missing. Yeah, it's the point of niggas is trying to be dense just to play devil's advocate. We know what this is. This isn't, he can't have his Second Amendment right. A black man can't have guns. That's not what's going on, and that's not what we're talking about, because 99% of us who do own guns don't ride around with the gun in the hand, waving the air, listening to NBA Youngboy, whatever music gets us turned up. We don't. And we can't normalize it just because this is on the spotlight and we want to defend niggas because we know white supremacists and a whole bunch of black detractors and haters are going to point this out and laugh at it. Instead of us owning our own, pointing him, ostracizing him, and putting him and isolating him from the community as somebody who's making us look bad, we want to stand next to him, and it's the same culture that shouts, free my niggas, that caught 12 bodies. Just because he's black doesn't mean we need to stand next to him.
That's a good point.
Great point. Back to you, Sir Shy. I got plenty of time. Back to you, sir.
Yeah. Well, I just hope, he's going to have to distance himself from Ja. And then, T. Morant, my brother, you're a father. Stop trying to live your second childhood. You're going to have to grab that belt and just you gotta get a hold of your son, man.
Stop
Ken
it.
Griffey Sr. If LeBron James Jr. does that, well, LeBron is going on. Savannah, come on, John.
Yeah.
But before I go, I want to talk to Star. You're gonna have to edit that video about Steph Curry, man. I don't want to hear about Steph Curry, Jordan Poole. LeBron got his revenge.
Well, I'm not. I'm not editing anything. Hang on. I appreciate your support. I'm not editing anything else. Yeah, Steph Curry took a L to LeBron James, but that's still my guy, Steph Curry. But I appreciate you as always, man. Last word. You want to take the last word?
My last word. The foundational white American, Austin Reeves from Arkansas, is teaming up with a foundational black American with LeBron, Schroeder, Anthony Davis, etc., the whole team.
Okay.
That type of combination is going to win the NBA championship.
Thank you for your call, Sir Shai. Thank you as always. Okay, hold on a second. We are rocking this afternoon. Left-handed, I'll be right back. Stay there, left-handed on Florida Boy J. Give me a second. Okay, folks. Deeds wants me to remind you to hit the like button, okay? That would be appreciated. Omar, I got your donation via Cash App. Thank you, sir. Newt8282 got your donation. Ja seeking attention. If you pull it out, use it. Yeah. Richie Rich got your donation. Ja should get a bag from the NRA like politicians. Okay. Willie got your donation. Are you on the line, sir? 585. Sit tight. I see you, Willie. Let me write this down. Okay. Folks, if you're just now joining the show and you have not heard my last two shows, I am moving out of I'm moving out of Georgia. Within less than 2 months, I did sign a notice to vacate. I'm moving back home for a little while to Stone Harbor, New Jersey. I'll be there for a couple of months, and then I'll figure it out from there. I just need to go. I've had a great time here. And Mammies have been good to me. Let me just say that for those who think that, I'm a little too hard on the Mammies. Mammies have been good to me. There's something that bothers me more than Mammies and the goddamn bonnets and the pajamas. And that is some of you niggas in your goddamn slides. You are disgusting. You've got these goddamn Fred Flintstone feet or Barney Rubble feet, and your shit's ashy and crazy, and you're up in the goddamn Publix, Kroger's, and these other places. You niggas are more disgusting than the goddamn Mammies, and that's never gonna stop down here. I had to say that just on some weirdo shit, okay? And Newt8282, he says, hot dog water smelling Mother's Day to the Mammies. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Left-handed, are you there, sir? Left-handed, Saturday.
1 2.
Yes,
1
sir.
2 1 2.
Ja Wick. Got the burner.
Yeah. Listen, man. I don't even know what to say, man. A lot of these cats put themselves in these positions. To me, it's like they want to hear people apologize for them. They make up all types of excuses. Like for me, it's like if you want to, put the thing on, put the ooh-wop in the air like that, do it when the camera's off. That way, it could be your word against theirs. When you have wild people seeing you, it had to have been 3 months since he's been in the strip club. Was it 3 or 4 months ago that he was in the strip club doing that? Everybody was apologizing for him, making up all these excuses. He's a young guy. He's this and that and third or whatever. And I'm listening to this nonsense. And I said to Yada Bear, I said, yo, watch this. It's going to happen again.
Right.
It's going to happen again. And he didn't even wait 6 months after all of the pontificating about, I have to find myself. I have to go away.
Right.
Then you got Jalen Rose pretending that he's Oprah Winfrey, asking him all these questions.
Right.
Copping wild pleas like R. Kelly. I mean, like these dudes, everybody wants to give them the proverbial pass. It's supposed to be cool to fly. Everybody makes up all these excuses. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies are put in a position to say, you know what, we got to do something. Okay? He signed a 5-year extension with them in July of 2022. It's May of 2023. And he's already been in the limelight for 2 very, 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 very recent episodes that everybody tries to poo-poo and excuse over. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
enjoying what you're saying. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I'm just saying, okay.
Yeah.
Florida boy.
No. Okay. All right.
Come on.
Go ahead. What up, Jay? What up, Florida boy?
Florida Jay's right there. Do you want to chime in, Florida boy Jay, or should I jump in? Okay, I think he's got us on mute. He's with his biracial queen. He's holding.
All right.
Okay.
Salute.
All right, let me say this, left-handed. Okay, I'm 59. You're younger than me, just by a couple of years. Okay. Are we being a little too critical of the younger generation? Because my generation, and again, you're younger than me, we had Kenny Stabler, the Snake Oakland Raiders. He was drinking beers at halftime. And allegedly, Marvin Marvelous Hager, after one of those fights he lost, he went home and gave his wife a ground and pound, allegedly. Other high-profile sports athletes were on the booger sugar, doing all sorts of crazy shit, but there was no social media, and the press didn't dog them as long as they were fierce competitors, and alcoholism was a real thing, back in the 70s, 80s, so are we being too hard? Should there be, whoever the union is I forget who the NBA union president is, should there be some type of new,
it's Chris Paul.
Okay, new clauses and stipulations that say, hey, you cannot suspend this person just because of a social media uproar? Left-handed?
If you created the uproar, you got to stand in your square and stand in front of that, man. If you feel like the blicky is your sign, is your protection or whatever, and that's your calling card, then do that, man. The ink didn't even dry yet on his last so-called commitment to do better. The ink isn't even dry, and we back to square one. We right back to where we started with these dudes. So when you talk about old school cats like Earl B. Free, driving around, doing what he was doing, you know what I mean? You could name 20, 30 of them. But again, it wasn't every 3 or 4 months. It was always a situation where they did what they did, and then what's coming, but it's down the line. This new generation, you just tried to give him a pass about 4 months ago for what he just did. So here we are again. So how many passes do these dudes need? And again, I'm not saying don't do it, because you're going to do it regardless. But don't do it when the camera's on. Who are you to? What point are you trying to prove?
Mm-hmm. But now, hang on a second. You and I are both. I'm an old school hockey guy. I grew up playing ice hockey in the 70s. Hockey.
I'm old school too.
Okay, well, but you're younger. What are you? 50? I forget. 54, 55. I forget.
I'm 56. Yeah, I'm
56.
Right behind you. Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to say you were 59. Okay.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. So hockey has always had the plexiglass, so that the fans can't jump on the goddamn ice and join the brawls. So the brawls, between the players, it's isolated. So you let them get it off their chest, and you see blood and shit, and over the decades, we're like, yeah, fuck them up. It's a way to let out aggression. So my point is, if there is a correlation, I don't know. Should there be some type of new clauses and stipulations in their contracts that the union president should fight for and say, hey, just because something happens on social media, you cannot suspend this guy. And let me just say this, one last point. I've been doing radio for a lot of years. 2011, Radio 1 gave me $500,000 to go help them with 100.3 The Beat. Most people don't know that. They think after Clear Channel, I never did radio again. I was in Philly, Radio 1. And, they gave me the money up front. After they decided to flip the format, I had a radio offer in Chicago. I think that was around 2014 for a morning show. And the language in the contract, we couldn't get around this one particular thing. If I get arrested, they are able to fire me and not pay me. And I said, no, there's a good chance in Chicago where shit is lit that I will be possibly arrested.
Might go down.
Arrested because if niggas run down, I am gonna shoot people. I'm no tough guy, but
Right.
I've shot people. It's on record. I'm no tough guy. I am gonna get my way out of it. I'm not just gonna take a fucking beating or whatever, goes with me being in Chicago. They would not bend. I would not bend. I said, well, if I get convicted, you can't pay me, or you won't have to pay me. But if I get arrested, you still pay me. You can sit me down. I'll go back to Pennsylvania. And they said, no, we want to out. And I said, well, then you know what? I'm going to stay up in Pennsylvania and do the Star Chamber. Go ahead and finish up left-handed, please.
Okay. To that, I think that in regards to the morals, there has to be some kind of ethics and clauses in their contract, because they are representing organizations. And again, man, all I'm saying is that, man, how many breaks do you need? How many times do you need to, what does it take? Is he addicted to the gun life? Because people that keep doing this and they keep having what you call relapses or whatever,
Gotcha.
They're like, oh, okay, you'll get it again. You know what I mean? So I don't know what to say, man, but I just think that, it's an easier way for him to do it to himself. Then, he don't need no help looking like an idiot out here.
Gotcha.
And again, for all the kids that support him and buy his jerseys and stuff like that, that's all fine, well and good.
Okay.
But this is what you get. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
again, to the other cats, and I'm gonna say this before I get up out of here. Charles Barkley was throwing people through windows. Yeah, Charles Barkley was spitting on people. Yeah, Charles Barkley was doing all types of stuff.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
Right.
So, but at the end of the day, Charles Barkley, kept it. He did what he did. He's not a what do you call those dudes?
Role model.
Role model. Have to look up to.
Role model.
Yeah, he's not a role model.
Yeah.
So again, at the end of the day, if this is what Ja Morant purports to be, a role model, then I don't know what to say about these cats, man.
Okay.
And you have to stay on your square. If you do it,
Right.
hold it down to be responsible for it.
Right.
That's it. And I'm gonna get out of here, man.
Thank you,
Tuesday
man.
nights down in Sports Talk.
Yes, sir.
We here.
Thank you.
Salute.
Okay. All right, Florida boy Jay is he's hemmed up with his biracial queen.
Yo, I'm right here.
Okay, I thought you
What's
hung up. Hold on a second. I want to make sure I don't hang up on you. I want to bring in Willie. Hold on a second, guys.
Yes, sir, right here.
I'm clicking too many buttons. Willie, are you there, sir? Willie, 585.
Yes, sir, right here. You hear me?
Thank you for your donation. Where do you want to start, sir? We're talking about Ja Morant. Yesterday, riding around in Memphis, listening to NBA YoungBoy, got the burner up, and now suspended by the Memphis Grizzlies this morning. Where do you want to start?
I mean, I think just as far as that situation go, honestly, I think we got to get back to a state of accountability. If Ja Morant is, like the last person was just saying, if Ja Morant is signing up to be the role model of today's youth, which is tomorrow's future,
Okay.
I think that we gotta hold said person accountable when he deviates from this role of being a role model. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but he just recently went through a situation, I think we all know, where, suspension was in the air, everything like that. He was just in the media for ultimately the same kind of reasons of being irresponsible, terrible judgment with social media and everything like that. And he went through his little, sorry parade and everything like that, apologizing and the rehabilitation process and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
My question is if you go about doing all of this just to get back into the league and prove otherwise that you are the said role model that you have been portrayed to be, then why even allow yourself to fall back into the same place of being potentially recorded on live? This is Instagram Live, mind you. This isn't even a private video. And I feel like the people get this, mixed up too. If you're going to do something wild and you want it on camera, that's fine. But there's a difference between going live and just being in your freaking iPhone and recording something.
Can I ask, how old are you, sir? How old are you?
Sure.
How old are you?
I'm 25. I'm a young boy. I'm 25. I'll turn 26 June 3rd.
Okay. Perfect. Because for you to say what you're saying is it makes a lot of sense. And salute to you for being that age, that young. I say young respectfully. And having the understanding that everything doesn't need to be on social media. A lot of people today are born. They're born into the matrix. They're born. they're born into the matrix. So it's normal for them to do things that people from my generation would be like, whoa, what are you doing? Whoa. You know what I mean? I was over a girl's apartment months ago, and she's fixing something in the goddamn kitchen, and I just walked by her to get a goddamn beer, and she pans the phone towards me. I said, whoa. I'm not hiding, but I don't want to be a part of your fucking life. So anyway, so back to what you're saying. If this is who Ja Morant is, maybe he should request a trade. Go someplace where he can be himself, turn up, have fun, and not have to have the restraints. Again, Fat Man Barkley, who's ringless. Charles Barkley, he had a whole campaign. I'm not a role model, something, yada, yada, yada. Go ahead.
My thing is,
Go ahead.
you got to stand on it. You know, I think, like me being 25, the thing of this generation is standing on what you're preaching and what you're saying.
Okay.
If you are a role model, stand on being a role model. If you outside and you riding around the NBA young boy with the blicky, it is what it is.
Okay.
Stand on that. But this in and out weaving through traffic thing is a terrible look, because now you're getting people misconstrued, and the reality of it is this is transcendent into everybody's, everyday life, the regular people, the poverty, everybody who's looking up to this guy that's outside, that's not making $235 million guaranteed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
This is starting to transcend into, and I'm living this. I'm seeing this every single day.
Yeah.
I got nephews, little cousins, nieces, little ones that look up to this guy, that's really confused on the difference between what a role model is and what a regular person, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
what the other guy is.
Gotcha.
And it's starting to confuse them now, because now a lot of kids is now going outside with guns, and they're getting into that kind of culture.
Oh, sucky. Yeah.
Not even knowing the repercussions of it, because they see they role model Ja Morant, who's making $235 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
In the same limelight.
Okay.
Because when you post up, we know he's on the road playing basketball, but when you got a 2-minute clip of you riding around on your day off, mind you, you're riding around in the car listening to NBA YoungBoy with the blicky, to somebody who's outside that don't know better, who is a young guy, whatever like that, a kid, teenager, whatever, to them, that's their everyday life.
Right. Hey, listen, I hate to cut you short, man. Thank you for your support. I want to finish up with Florida Boy Jay and then shift gears. Thank you, Willie. Thank you.
Definitely.
Yes, okay. Yep. Florida Boy Jay, I'm going to give you the last word, sir. And you're going live again when? You're not going live tonight after the basketball game?
I might, but this is the weekend. I might have some a nice young lady over. And we chilling. We gonna get it popping tomorrow night. We got to push the pop probably at Monday night, Monday afternoon. But what I'm saying on the last part about the Ja Morant situation is this: niggas need to stop acting dense and trying to play devil's advocate and try to talk about Second Amendment rights. You know damn well what this nigga's doing. You know his influence. And when we say, for me, I'm not talking about other people. When I mention Allen Iverson, I'm not saying as far as the trouble off the court. I'm talking about a player archetype in a certain vibe that he has with the kids, the children, right? Ja Morant needs to be held accountable. His homeboy just lost to millions, trying to go live on 115 people on Instagram. And let's hold ourselves accountable, and let's show people we're serious about FBAs and how we look.
Do better. Thank you, man. Thank you, Florida Boy Jay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ja Morant, foundational Black American, not West Indian, based upon my research. Troll babies, is white supremacy to blame? The ops, COINTELPRO. These FBA niggas are dropping the bag like crazy. Dropping the ball and fumbling the bag. Yeah. Fumbling the bag and dropping the ball. We're going to blame the NBA now? Guys, let me just get this out before I forget. What a beautiful biracial young female this morning at Burger King who gave me breakfast. The breakfast, for the most part, was trash, but because her vibe was right, I even gave her like $1 and change tip. I don't want to say exactly where, but if anybody has a biracial daughter with a little frizzy hair who works at Burger King Sunday morning, you raised a good little female. First, I went to the gym, and then I was driving by McDonald's. Line was wrapped around. I said, oh, gee, I don't feel like sitting and waiting. So I go half a mile down, and there's a Burger King. I order the bacon, egg, and cheese croissant, small black coffee. So I pull up to the window, and she said, hey, how you doing? I said, hey. I started stumbling, hey, okay. Gave her the money. Gave me napkins, a straw, ketchup for the little nasty potatoes, the little tater tot things. And then I said, well, hey, you got the 3 or 4 of those, the French toast sticks? And she said, we got the 3 or the 5. I said, give me the 5. Give me the 5. Because I had planned to go pull around the corner and give some to the birds, old nigga shit. Don't you know this little high yellow biracial queen gave me 2 syrups and I didn't even have to ask for it. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Usually you got to deal with Shamika, Malika, Shaquana. They give you one goddamn syrup, and then when you ask for another one, they do that. Gave me 2 syrups. I said, damn. And then when she went to give me the change, I said, hey, keep that. She said, okay, thank you. A nice thank you. Have a nice day. I said, whoa. Do we give biracial women enough props and praise? I'm going back to that goddamn Burger King, not because the food was that good, because truthfully, when I pulled up a little bit to the parking lot and I threw the little potato things out there, the birds, a couple of birds flew down, picked that shit and kept it moving. The birds didn't want that shit. Anybody know what I'm talking about? The goddamn birds didn't want the little potatoes. So clearly, the food is trash, but because of her nice little attitude and demeanor, I said, I'm going to go back there. I just had to say that. Hold on a second, guys. Got to promote my sponsors here. Okay, sit tight on the phones. Oh, Big Eye Key. Okay, no, that's an old PayPal donation. Guys, the PayPal information is at the top of the live chat. Did I spell it right? starboyradio@gmail.com. Okay, if you can't get through on the phone lines or if you want to donate to the show here, I does this. Okay. Also, anything else I had to mention? Okay, I'm moving. It's official. I think that's it, okay? Let me go back to Cash App. You folks have been patient. I appreciate you. Newt says, NRA stands for niggas repping attention. I want to hear his statement or the statement that his PR team releases. Please keep me up to speed. Anybody who gets that statement. DJ Dooya, are you on the line, sir? Call in. Where's DJ Dooya? I don't see you in the queue. Is it area code 845? I do not see you, sir. Call in. Let me just say call in. Is it Fallon? Hi, Fallon. Thank you for your donation. I don't see a message, but thank you so much. Okay, there she is. Team biracial. What a great fucking breakfast I had this morning. Oh, Blade says Ja Morant needs to chill because of social media, but old niggas should cut the kid a little slack. Imagine if we would have had social media and smartphone cams back in the 90s when Star was riding the subways in New York, brandishing Moses and yelling "spick" at Hispanic teenagers. That was in the 80s, sir, not the 90s. But thank you for your donation. Okay. I think this is DJ Dooya. Area code 845. Are you there, sir? Thank you for your support, as always. DJ Dooya.
Yes, sir. DJ Dooya. What's good, Star?
Good to
How you
hear
doing
from you,
today?
man. I'm good. What do you want to chime in, man? Ja Morant. We got him. Got him.
Oh, man.
Come on.
Yo, Star.
Come on.
How is he fumbling the bag like this? Now, listen, Star. This is the point that I just wanted to make. You know, the All-NBA team came out last week. I don't know if Spoiler Boy Jay got into it. I got on the line kind of late, but the All-NBA team came out, and Ja Morant was missing from the All-NBA team. Now, based on making those teams, it cost him $40 million.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
I'm sure that this next incident is going to cost him his shoe deal. So he's just stumbling the bag, and there's nobody that's grabbing him up saying, "Listen, dude, what are you doing?" The father seems like he just wants to be in the entourage.
Okay.
He's not being proactive and telling them this is our generational wealth that you're fumbling.
Okay.
I just don't understand it. It could be the organization as well, because certain organizations like the Miami Heat, shout out to them, that's my team and all that. But
Sir, don't you ever do a shout out on my show again, or you will be hung up on. You know
oh yeah,
that.
my bad.
You
bad.
know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Big up to them. Yeah, I know that. My fault. I'm just happy that they're in the Eastern Conference Championship and they got the Knicks.
Okay, continue. I don't care. Give a goddamn about the Heat.
But,
Continue.
Yep, no doubt. But they need a player like a Udonis Haslem to like yoke him up and say, "Yo, you're gonna ride out with me. You spending the whole summer in the gym with me. Get these thuggeries, these thugs out of your life." So that's what he really needs, man. He's just gonna continue to fumble the bag, and he'll be in Taiwan playing with Dwight Howard.
Okay, let me jump in here for a second. I don't claim to have the answers. I don't have any biological children, you know. Maybe this is just who this young man is. He gets hype. I don't know if he was sheltered, and now because he's got the bag and notoriety, he's just going off the rails. Maybe he wants friends. Maybe this is just who he is. Maybe, maybe his father knows, hey, Ja gonna be Ja. I don't know if his father was in his life growing up. I don't know. But it appears to be an issue for the NBA. Whether black people want to come to his aid or not, it's an issue for the NBA. So what is the solution, if any? You're a basketball fan. You've spoken before about your love for the game. What is the solution, if any?
I mean, clearly the loss of the money is not affecting him. We may have to see a long-term suspension for him in the league, and Adam Silver in the NBA may have to make an example of him for the upcoming players.
I don't like that.
Oh, listen, you see this dude?
I don't like that.
You can't be like him.
Are you listening? I don't like that.
No.
No.
You don't like that?
No. I grew up watching hockey, playing ice hockey, brawling and fighting. White America, the dominant society, has always allowed hockey players to brawl. Always. Why should to be objective, why should the black players allow people to taunt them? The basketball players we're talking about, throw shit at them, spit on them, disrespect them, call their wives and children names when they're sitting courtside. Why can't he just be sent to another team where that's not such a big deal, and then just fall back a little bit? These are high-paid athletes, TikTok. So if he's not shooting anybody, hurting anybody, back off. I mean, why can't that be a reality?
No, I get all of that, but this is a corporate entity we're talking about. So the ESPN and TNT are the ones that really own the league. So that's messing up their sponsorships. They want to put Ja Morant on the commercials and stuff, but if he's out there trying to be NBA YoungBoy, trying to be Joe Dirt, they can't put him as the face of the league like they want. So that's kind of my take on that. And then, in the particular city that he's in, there was a player that was killed named Lorenzen Wright years ago. So I don't think he wants to put that energy out, especially in that particular city.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, listen, I'm trying to be objective, and I want you guys to speak. You love the game of basketball. I don't give a goddamn about basketball, to be honest with you. Never have. No, I never have. It's not that serious to me. It's all ego, and the athletes are high caliber. I get it, but I don't want to see black men broken anymore by corporate entities. Something has to be done, and I'll just say this, and I'll let you finish up. The players' union president has to do something with regards to these younger guys that are coming up in this urban culture. It's urban culture. It's not just hip hop. It's urban. You got the white boys out of control, Asians, Hispanics, they're all out of control. But it just appears that the younger black males are being ridiculed for infractions. I'll say infractions. But go ahead and finish up. Go ahead.
No, that was really the only. I pretty much said what I needed to say.
Okay.
Just tune in tonight after the Celtics and Sixers game to Up for Debate. We'll be going live around 7:30.
Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate your support.
All right. Yes,
sir.
Have a good show.
Okay, DJ Dooyah tapping in. Sunday afternoon. Should I take a break? Folks, I have been throwing stuff out ever since yesterday. Since I signed that notice to vacate. Anybody ever just wake up like 3 o'clock in the morning and you just go into the refrigerator and just start throwing things out, even stuff that you just purchased? I'm like, what is this shit? And I travel light. Most of my, stuff is upstate New York, But here in Woodstock, GA, I have a lot of paperwork, books, memorabilia, shitload of Tommy Hilfiger stuff, and I asked them to start shipping stuff to New Jersey rather than don't send any more here. But I've been throwing stuff away. Anybody just wake up and just start throwing? I threw away like 150 books yesterday. I'm not having no yard sale. I don't want to deal with people at the end of the driveway. Just throw it out. No? Nobody? Is that like an older thing? You just start throwing shit away? Back in the building. Star Report, Sunday afternoon. Okay. Talking about Ja Wick. They're calling him Ja Wick. I like the John Wick films. Ja Morant riding around in Memphis yesterday. Music got good to him. I don't know if he was drinking or smoking. Who gives a shit? It's off season. Has the guy who was driving, has he apologized? Has he released a statement? Or did he, has he addressed this? Man, Ja Morant, a mark. He would be called a mark, in certain circles, Area code 708, good afternoon. We're talking about Ja Morant. Suspended. Are you up to speed?
Area code 708, good afternoon. We're talking about Ja Morant.
Okay, that's some type of super delay. I'm not interested in that type of long, waiting for you to pick up in the headset and speakerphone. Hi, 510, you there?
That's Highlander.
510.
On your point about people on their phones on the stoop or on on the pouch. Yeah, even in East Oakland, which you know very well, it's just a scam. Hey, Mr. Johnson just left his house. Yeah, his son Todd got the PS5 with the Madden. Yo, just go around the back. He always leaves that door open. Mm-hmm. So the same thing in Atlanta that they do. It's the same thing in East Oakland. Just another, just more nigger buffoonery.
Yeah. Now some people may think I'm crazy. I take notice to everything. Everything. I'm on that neighborhood watch shit. And I'm like, why is this person sitting on the porch? Why aren't you in? It's a nice home. Why aren't you inside the house? Why am I seeing you for the last 4 days on the porch and you're like zoned in on the phone? You're probably scamming. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, they're scamming. They're pretty much being like watching around, seeing who driveways, windows open, anything without the metal prison bars on the windows.
No. I'm not talking about scamming in the neighborhood and setting up homes. I'm talking about being away from people in the house that would catch on to what they're doing. They're probably doing some type of transaction bank scamming. That's the type of scam. I'm not talking about, lining up the neighbors. No. I live in Woodstock. People houses aren't on top of each other like that,
Oh, okay.
Not bank scamming and, phishing scam. Do you know about phishing scamming where you send out something to someone's email address and they click the link and they go to enter their information? Whammo!
Yeah, you can get locked out your Instagram, social media. They have access to everything.
Yeah.
I've known about that for like 5-6 years. In fact, I think they even had it around like the early Facebook, MySpace days.
Yes.
So, yeah, I've never clicked links.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And anyway, I don't want to ramble. Let's get back to Ja Morant. You up to speed, suspended from the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant, that's my main topic.
Yeah, after listening to the arguments from Florida Boy Jay and others on the call, yeah, I understand that you might have somewhat of a moral obligation. But no, Adam Silver, you're not going to just bend to any suburb mom out there in Nashville because she's uncomfortable seeing a black man with a weapon. There has to be a medium, like that story you said about that job wanting to have an out if you get arrested.
Yeah,
you can get arrested for jaywalking.
Bingo.
It's just too easy.
Bingo. I got a radio job right now. Hang on, I don't mean to sound cocky. I got a radio job right now
go ahead.
in New York City. Right now. But there's clauses about if I say something that they don't like, females.
Correct.
What are you gonna suspend me for 3 days and I'm gonna lose $25,000? Fuck out of here. What I say on social media has nothing to do with you, and we're not going to tie the two in together, and you're not going to take a part of my monetization on YouTube. These radio companies are hurting. They're trying to literally get part of your YouTube money. Do you know that? Anyway, I'm sorry.
Wait, if you have a profitable YouTube channel, they can garnish it?
No. They try. They want part of your streaming revenue, radio stations.
Wow. Oh, no way. Unless the bag is different, then I'm different. But
anyway.
For the Boy J quote. But yeah, you're not touching my YouTube check.
No, we're not splitting my goddamn YouTube money. Anyway, hey man, thank you for the call. Thank you.
Hey, Highlander, you're going to Jersey. I'm gonna be in Jersey for the Jets Raiders game. I'm going to East Rutherford.
Okay.
Where is that?
Yeah, you can Google it. Yeah, I don't want to connect with you, but thanks. Where is it? Google it. And don't come to Stone Harbor. We will call the police. Fast. If you're not delivering a package and you're black or Hispanic, we call police. The fuck? Anyway, guys on the screen, www.paperworkparty.org. I say again, paperworkparty.org, okay? Anybody want to just explore a little bit what I said? I don't claim to have all the answers, but the NBA Players Union president, I don't know what, if anything, they have by way of clauses and stipulations. 2 words, clauses and stipulations. But you can't just keep, not saying Ja Morant isn't an idiot. He's an idiot. Totally idiot. But the players' union president has to fight for the players a little bit more. Say what you want about Patrick Lynch, former he's retiring, PBA president in New York City. Patrick Lynch would fight for the cops. You could shoot a goddamn Puerto Rican in the back of the head, unarmed. And Patrick Lynch would say, well, we need to really explore this, figure it out. In the meantime, he's going to keep his pay, and you're not touching his pension. Right or wrong? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Not saying Ja Morant is not an idiot. He's an idiot. He's a nut job. He's a total idiot. But the contracts, man. The NBA contracts, I've never seen one. They have to be similar to the record company 360 deals now, you know, in a sense. Yes, no? What I do on social media is what I do. If I jack my joystick and I got a little Molly in my a little Molly Percocet, and somebody films me, it's my business. Are you going to suspend me for 4 days? I'm just there to play basketball. Sir Shai says, who you got, Star? 76ers or Celtics? I got 76ers. I don't care either way, sir. I don't give a goddamn, to be honest with you. The Boston Bruins are out of the race for the Stanley Cup, so that's all I really cared about. Sir Shai also says, I want to chime in on... Okay, did I speak to you already, Sir Shai? Thank you for your donation, man. FBJ merch. Shorts have a back zipper for easy access. Oh, Newt says FBJ's merch and the shorts have a back zipper for easy access. Okay, we're going there this afternoon. Are you calling in, Sir Shai? Okay. Let's go to area code 832. Good afternoon. Ja Morant suspended from the Memphis Grizzlies. Are you up to speed? 832.
I am up to speed. This is Omar. I was the one that sent the Cash App donation, long-time listener.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
First-time donator.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I listen to your lot story. Let me tell you like this.
Okay.
I'm 43 years old. I remember the days when Jordan came in. I remember the days of Kenny Anderson, Rod Strickland. I'm talking about real point guards with real issues in life. Ja Morant is a suburban kid that's trying to be a gangster.
Okay.
Stop sitting here and comparing him to Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was a two-sport superstar. Could have played in the NFL or the NBA. But the one thing Allen Iverson has that a lot of these young guys don't have is heart. He had heart for the game, and he had heart for his community, and he had heart for his family. Ja Morant, I get it. You're young. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to find yourself. But, bro, this is the one thing. When you get into the NBA, even as a rookie, you sign a contract with not only the NBA, but you sign a contract with that team, and that you will not do anything detrimental to what the organization or the league wants you to be. And right now, within less than 4 months, you done showed yourself detrimental to the league and that team. And the funny thing is, the one thing nobody has mentioned is that this is not the first time for this organization, for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Right. Right.
The Memphis Grizzlies have a long history of players not being what they wanted them to be.
Okay.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love Zebo, Zach Randolph, one of the greatest power forwards in Memphis Grizzlies history. But he also got into the city life or the hood life of Memphis. Now, mind you, he started a record company. He's doing good for himself. You don't see nothing bad for him. But there's always been a correlation with the hood of Memphis and the Memphis Grizzlies for whatever reason. And Ja Morant is getting into that. I don't know why, but here's the funny thing about it. We could talk about FBA. We could talk about all this bullshit. At the end of the day, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cuss. My bad.
Come on.
At the end of the day, we all, as men, have a choice to do what we want to do. Ja was already reprimanded and was told, hey, bro, you do this again, we gonna get you.
Right.
So I don't feel sorry for him at all.
Okay.
I don't. I get it. You're young. We've all been there. You and I have been where Ja Morant is trying to get at. But at the same time, as a man, I'm going to speak for myself. I stood up for my faults. And Ja Morant needs to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a superstar in this NBA, like everybody thinks you can, because here's the funny thing. Nobody doesn't think he can't be a superstar. Everybody wants him to be.
Right.
But you want to be, for lack of a better term, a thug.
Right. If I can jump in for a second, I have no problem with what you said.
I'm sorry.
No, I have no problem with what you said, with the exception of black people have this really twisted about being from the suburbs and inner city kids being more, I guess, real. That's total bullshit. Gang,
Well,
hang on, sir. You spoke. Let me speak. You spoke.
Okay, go ahead.
The real gangsters, Cosa Nostra, lived in the goddamn suburbs, and they came into the city to do their dirty work, and then went back home. And there's other people, such as Ron Artest and these other guys, grew up in the inner cities and projects, yada, 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 got up in the NBA and didn't have no heart. If Ja Morant is a clown and a goofy, then he's a clown and a goofy. And as the old saying goes, it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. Now, he's a goofy. I don't know if he was raised, I don't know who raised him, how they raised him, but he's a goofy. So what should be done with him? Because clearly he's a goofy. More than likely he'll get into something else. Should he be traded? Should he be, how should he be reprimanded? What should ultimately happen? He doesn't get it. I think it's fair to say he doesn't get it, right? We can agree on that. He just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay. What should be done?
To answer your question,
go ahead.
To answer your question, and just to say this on the side, I'm from Channelview, Texas, the same neighborhood as Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
So yeah, trust me, I get the what you're saying about suburban kids.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, a lot of times with black suburban kids, the unfortunate thing is a lot of them might have came from the hoods but never were really raised in the hoods. You know what I'm saying? They were born there, but then they moved. So they try to put on the clothing of being a real nigga, for lack of a better term, to make everybody else think they're more than what they are, but you're not. You're from the suburbs. Actually, to be honest with you, for me, I'm from Fifth Ward, Texas. I was born in Fifth Ward, Texas, moved to Channelview.
I've been there, sir, back in 1990. I was there. 1990.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. You will sit there and claim this hood, but at the same time, you don't go through the struggles of the people that are in the hood, because your parents have have money now. They have good jobs. They're able to get you what you want, and you don't have to work for it. the good thing about my parents is, and this is Mother's Day. God rest my mother's soul. She's not here. Happy Mother's Day to all the mammies and the troll babies. But at the same time, my parents stuck with that old school lesson of you have to work for what you want.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying Ja Morant didn't work for what he wanted, because he did.
He worked.
And he did a damn good job at it.
Facts.
He did a damn job at it. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
Okay, come on. You're good. You're good.
at the same time, I believe Ja Morant feels like he hasn't even reached his prime yet.
Full potential.
You're still a youngin' in the game.
Full potential. Yeah.
You're still a youngin'. You have not reached your prime yet.
So if we can speed it up a little bit.
Go ahead.
So what should be done? That's ultimately where it's at now. What should be done with this guy? He doesn't get it. He's goofy, talented as hell. What should be done?
You know what? Ja Morant should be allowed to fall on his face. He should be allowed to fall on his face, realize what he's going to lose, and then has to make the choice of either you're still going to be this goofy, as you said, because I have a better term for it, but I don't want to cuss.
Yeah, please don't.
Or
we're doing good.
You are going to be the man you're supposed to be. And you're going to continue on. We're going to forgive you for whatever you did, but you're going to turn all that around and be the player and the man we're hoping you are to be.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to end it right there. Houston, Texas, H-Town Polo, a.k.a. Omar. I'm going to holler at you,
Thank you, man. Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. What should ultimately be done about the Ja Morant situation? It's a nightmare. It's a debacle. Folks, this is the objective perspective. Ja Morant is an idiot. That's clear. That's clear. But what do you do with the idiot? How do you get the best out of the idiot? Tyrone got your donation. Where are you, sir? 561. Is that you? Hold on. Tyrone, is that you? Thank you for your support. 561, is that you, sir? Was that a different Tyrone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey, how are you, man? I got two 561s. Which one are you?
9034.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm Tyrone, 561.
Okay, you sent a donation. I'm looking at a different Tyrone here. I'm sorry. Good, you were
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Go ahead. You have the floor.
I just want to say, man, I'm done with Ja, man. This guy needs to be suspended for a year without pay.
Okay.
A lot of people call in and said, I've been with Ja Morant. I've been where he's from. I've done this, done that. Okay, no. Not one caller has come from the hood that called in that signed a multi-million-dollar contract with the NBA.
Facts.
Okay.
I'll let them speak, though. I'll let them speak. Go ahead. I'll let them speak.
Yeah. So saying that, I've been there, he's young, this and that. No, you haven't been there. Okay. This guy is messing up generational wealth. Now, and he's been given a second chance.
Yeah.
And he's still blowing it. Mm-hmm. The only way you can help this guy is to stop his income for a year. In my opinion.
Come on.
Let him see what it's like to not be in that privileged situation that he's in.
Right.
Okay? There's only about 300, maybe 400 jobs in the NBA. He's privileged.
Yeah.
You can't just go to the unemployment office and apply for that position.
Right. Right.
Right. You can't send in a resume and apply for that position. No. You have to be good enough to be chosen to be put in that situation that he's in.
Okay.
Okay? This I'm just done, man. I'm just done. I don't know. And people talk about, it's the NBA coming down on the black guy and Allen Iverson and all this and that. Okay, Name me one white guy that got out of the line, and I'll name you 5 black guys that got out of the line in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Name 2 white guys that got out of the line.
Yeah. If I can just interject for a second, Allen Iverson had the luxury of no social media when he was playing, all because he used to hang out in Philly, again, up in TGIFs and all those other spots. He was always hanging out, buying out the bar. And there was no, of course, Instagram at that point and YouTube. And he put some rap song out. I forget. I was on the radio at the time. Anybody know what it's called? Something about VA killers. It was trash.
Yeah.
It was trash. And I remember speaking about it on the radio. I said, I'm not playing this trash. This guy's a basketball player. They used to call him, I think, Bubba Chuck. That was his nickname growing up in Newport News, Bubba Chuck. And he, if you know his history, Troll Babies, didn't he catch some type of charge? I don't want to put a certain word on him unless I know it to be true. Allen Iverson caught a charge before he got to the NBA, and there was a whole team of people that worked with him to get his mind right. Do you know what I'm talking about, sir?
Yeah. He was in a fight at a bowling alley,
right,
or something like that,
right.
And there were some people who had his back, and actually, the coach from Georgetown gave him a shot because all his other scholarship offers came off the table.
Mm-hmm.
So John Thompson, the coach at Georgetown, after Allen Iverson's mother went and begged John Thompson to give her son a shot,
right,
he offered him a scholarship while all the other offers that he had came off the table after that fight that he had at the bowling alley.
Yeah. Did somebody
Did
somebody get killed or just beat up or shot or stabbed? I forget what the whole story.
I was a white guy that got beat up real bad, and Allen Iverson was there, and Allen Iverson was the, star of the city, so he's the only person that, he can recognize. So
okay,
he called Allen Iverson's name.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm not going to put these other words or attach these other words to him because I forget. But yeah, you're right. He went through a whole process, and there was no YouTube at the time, so he was given a second chance. So I never believed that whole thug image with him. I never believed it. And when he came out with that song, whatever that was called, I thought it was a joke. See if I can find it. Rap album. Something about my VA killers. Was it 40 bars? I forget. Anyway, I'm sorry. So go ahead. I'm rambling. Go ahead, finish up. You had a point you were making.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, social media. I mean, I don't have any social media accounts.
Okay.
I'm a older guy. I'm like 55, so that stuff just never, I just never had any interest in that stuff.
Gotcha.
But these younger folks these days, there's, it's crazy. I see young guys, they don't even know how to communicate without social media.
Yeah.
Back in my day, we walk up to a girl and start kicking game.
Yeah.
Now it's like, yo, what's your Instagram?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But back as for this Ja Morant, man, I just think he needs to sit down. The NBA needs to sit him down. He's putting a bad shine on the NBA brand.
Okay.
He's talking about trading him, but it's going to be hard to trade him because no other team wants that type of attention.
Right.
So I don't know, man.
Okay.
I just think he needs to sit down without pay.
Okay. Thank you for your call, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. The album by Allen Iverson, which most of you never heard of, it was called 40 Bars. Came out in the year 2000. Or was that the single? I forget. Was it the single or for the year 2G, the rap game changed for one name, Jewels. Aim to slain anything on this plane remains are found when the best kept secret gets heated. you went platinum with a Ghost Rider. So in the game, you won, you cheated, you slang bang. This is Allen Iverson from the year 2000, 40 bars. You man enough to pull a gun, be man enough to squeeze it. Gunshots, gang, gang, gang. Die if you don't believe it. Anything to do with millions, I'ma be with it. Hats off to the hardcore niggas. Fuck the rest. In my guess, y'all useless. Oh my God, this was so trash when it came out. Anybody remember this? Get murdered in a second in the first degree. Come to me. Oh, and he drops the F word, Faggot, tendencies. I forgot about that. Come to me with F-bomb tendencies. You'll be sleeping where the maggots be. Ain't nothing kinda used to beef. Actually, where's the part about my, okay, here it is. Something about my VA killers won't catch me as a victim and a rap casualty. Dynasty Raiders hit VA in the summertime. 10 Bentleys in one line. Gats in each hand. Twin 45s in mines. Snipers hitting niggas long distance for a rate. Damn. Let me put this in the live chat. This goofy ass nigga, ringless ass. I've always given this nigga smoke on the microphone. I met him too. He came up Hot 97. I didn't interview him, but he was up there. Goofy. Yeah, I forgot he dropped the F-bomb on these niggas. Go ahead. Talk about that. Where's the part about my VA killers? Something he said, and I remember we kept playing that lyric. Oh, I said, what is this nigga talking about? Bubba Chuck. Anyway. Guys on the screen, songs.work.info. Please go there and tell them I sent you if you are an artist, producer, manager, songwriter, or if you're just interested in music publishing. Songs.work.info. Please tell Kia that you want to have a consultation. Her name is Kia. Very, very knowledgeable person, okay? She can help you. Trust and believe. She can help you, okay? Okay, I just spoke to Tyrone, sir. Thank you for your support. Terrence, 1 year suspension to get his mind right is what should happen. Okay. I'm kind of agreeing with that. Yeah, one year suspension. Okay, who are you? Sending me something about AR-15s. Okay, so did you send it a donation? I don't know you. I don't want to be friends. Send it a donation. Sir Shy says, Star, Megan Good. Or who? Who's the person you're talking? Let me Google that person. I'm sure I know the face. Oh, man, and I just watched a movie last night on the Free Movie Network with J-Lo. Give me a second. I got to Google the name. That was trash. Really trash. Let's go to area code 404. Good afternoon. Are you there? 404. We're talking about Ja Morant. Waving blickies again.
Come on, Ali Kwan. I'm not your brother, but this last night, this Zanzibar.
Okay, and sir, it's Star. You don't know me as Ali Kwan. Let's get on the right page here.
Whatever, man. Look.
What's cracking, man?
I mean, we really need to go ahead and I agree with the 1 year suspension. So they need to let him go ahead and crash and burn.
Well, hang on. I don't know. Someone just said that. Is there a 1 year suspension? I don't want to put that out there unless that's what it is. Right now, they.
No. I'm not. I don't know the facts or anything behind the suspension, how long or anything. But I'm agreeing with the time limit.
Okay.
A time limit for him to really reflect on what's going on, because he really has no real conception of what's happening and what he's doing to himself.
Right.
You got two superstars that came out of the NBA on dual roles. You had Shaq and you also had Dennis Rodman. Now, Shaq, he played ball, he played hard, but he also rapped. That's what gave him not street credibility, but gave him hip-hop credibility. Now, when you go to Dennis Rodman, you talking about the bad boy. He was on media, news media. He made that time, not for getting in trouble, but for his antics. And I think people get it confused with, this influx of social media, taking it as real credible type media. No, it actually waits for you to crash and burn, and they want to see the outcome. That's what people are anticipating about, and that's the outcome.
Okay.
Another thing that a lot of people.
Well, hang on a second. Stay with me because you and I are both. Hang on. You and I are both born and raised in Jersey, and you correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I've got part of the story twisted, but I think I pretty much got this one right. There was a guy. Hang on. And he used to slap people on the basketball court, and he was known for being overly aggressive. He's 51 years of age. He's 51 years of age now, according to Wikipedia, and he slapped the shit out of Kobe Bryant in practice one time. This guy was a terror, but they worked with him when he got to college. I think he's somewhat sort of calmed down. I'm not sure if he was slapping people in college. Do you know who I'm talking about from Newark, New Jersey? You're from Newark, New Jersey. Who was slapping fire out of niggas? Huh?
Vaguely, because you had a lot of people that have come out.
No, sir. One of the biggest. Hang on. One of the biggest in the NBA. And because there was no YouTube and no Instagram, a lot of things got suppressed. Shaquille O'Neal used to smack fire out of people. Did you ever hear about that? He's from Newark, New Jersey.
Well, like I said, man, I'm not a basketball or sports head for that type of thing.
I thought you would know because you're from Newark. I thought you would know because you're from Newark. Go ahead.
I mean, I ain't no athlete, nigga. I don't get into that sports stuff, man. Look, when it get to the playoffs, championship, yeah, but all that other stuff, I ain't following those niggas from college and all that, man. Whatever. The thing of it is, though, it's like, come on, man. Not just black people. Black-skinned, dark-skinned people really need to wake up.
Okay.
They need to wake up, work out, and get their minds together.
Okay.
Just like with this reparations. We talked about that last time.
Yeah.
It was all a dream, man. It was all a dream, and now here it is. Now people, what about this, and that? The people that got the money should do the reparations to the communities that they came from.
Got you.
That should be the reparations. These millions and $100,000 contract. Okay, Shaq, you feel, or just as an example, you feel like this about reparations. Why not donate $10 million to Newark? Not just to the upper echelon people in Newark, but what about the ghetto, the streets, the schools, things where people can really see it, right? You always hear about, you always hear about they give X amount of dollars to these charities and so forth. They give it to charities to people that really don't need the money. They give it to schools that really don't need the funding. So it's a tax write-off, which is cool. That's what they do. But, the biggest, I think, misconception.
Hey, well, listen, man, I'm going to cut you short, man, because you just rambling. And the fact that you're from Newark and you never heard, and you never heard about Shaq. Hey, you never heard about Shaq smacking niggas, man. I got to call you out, man. Have a good one. Thank you. Can I get an old school Newark, New Jersey nigga? Left-handed, you might have to call back in here, man, because I remember specifically Shaquille O'Neal, born in 1972, Newark, New Jersey. And any Lakers fans in there, like real? I'm reading his history right now. Shaquille he was raised by his Jamaican stepfather with his mother, but he's from Newark, New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey is a really hardcore place. I remember hearing stories about him having a temper and putting hands on niggas. Yes, no, maybe. Anybody in that live chat really know Shaquille O'Neal's history? Now, he whoever worked with him, they turned it around and he became this likable guy. He put hands on Fat Man Barkley. Anybody see Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley today? You know, Charles Barkley knows not to cross a certain line. Can I get an amen if you know their history? Shaq slapped the shit out of him back when they were playing. Yes, no, maybe. Smack fire out of Kobe in practice. Give me a real old head basketball player. He became this lovable guy and started doing music with he was on Jive Records. Yeah, they had to work with him, man, because he was. Michael Jordan respected Shaq. He never talked down to him. He went around Shaq. And Shaq never, you know, I don't want to ramble too much, but, you know, he respected Jordan, but at the same time, Jordan couldn't punk him. No. I was a big nigga from Newark, New Jersey that put hands on people, for those who don't know your basketball history. Let me take one more call here, and then I'm going to wrap this up. It's Sunday. Okay, I'm going to get back to throwing stuff out and getting ready for my move. Okay. Area code 347. You are my last caller, Ja Morant. Out of control. Yes, no, maybe? Are you there?
Good afternoon. This is Firestarter calling out of Rome, New York.
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on with you?
So, I heard the show where you want your uncle to die. I can just go over and take over the home in Rome, New York, if needed, to get what we need to get from the place.
What's going on with you, man? We're talking about Ja Morant. My uncle's he's alive right now.
Man,
he's okay.
I just want to know this respectfully. Yes, I am FBA, but what are black people going to say now? He has a mother. He has a father. He went to private school. He went to all the good programs, and he's still messing up.
Yeah.
You know, black people like to say, no, Dad, there's no father in the home. Where are the programs? He was in every program, everything. And this is not his first time. This is his second time. Yeah. And then he went on TV the first time. Mental health, it's mental health and pressures. And now look, you don't take nothing serious. You just lost to LeBron in the playoffs. And you're in with a gun. What's gonna be the excuse for FBA takes an L if he's FBA? I don't know. FBA,
white supremacy, COINTELPRO.
But think about it. He already lost $40 million because he's not in the All-NBA team.
Right.
Now with this, Nike's going to drop him. This one's going to drop him. And I agree with everyone that's been calling in. But I'm saying I think he should get 18 months suspension. That's me personally. I feel like 18 months.
Wow.
18 months. Because he needs to get his mind right. He's a younger man. I think like 24, 23. He's really young. 18 months, sit down, get your mind totally right. Yeah. Go play in China for a little bit. Go get a taste of that nonsense. Then just say, you know what? NBA is where I really need to be. This
may sound a little bit, maybe this is a reach, but does Shaquille O'Neal do any type of mentoring? He's turned out to be a really, really nice guy. I don't think I've ever taken hard shots at him. He does so much with young people. And again, man, I remember, I'm as old as dust, hearing stories about him putting hands on people in high school and the first year or two of college, and they worked with him to make him become this lovable guy that we know him as now. Maybe Shaq should be the one. Shaq should step in and work with this guy, Ja Morant. That's the only thing I can think of. Go ahead, finish up.
And if you remember the goal in that Charles Barkley and Shaq fight, it was Charles Barkley who threw the ball at Shaq's head, and
he threw a ball, yes. He
did not back down. So that whole, yes, he's Fat Man Barkley.
No. He threw the ball, and then Shaq got at him. This is not an argument of flamethrower. He threw a ball, and then Shaq got right at him. He didn't want no smoke. Go ahead.
He threw that at him. Like, what up, nigga? Like, what's up? You feel me?
Throw the ball.
But just to close up on the whole Ja Morant thing, as I said before, SBA has to take another L because this kid has a father in his life, a mother in his life.
Right.
Earlier he remember He also got sued by some kid who said that he's trying to pull a gun out. Remember, I don't know if you remember that story. This was like recently, where the child said that allegedly that Ja Morant pulled out a gun because he did
something like that.
His mother
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So think about the stuff that's been going on this year.
Okay.
And he's 22, 23.
Right,
what are you
right.
doing?
Okay.
So like, oh, where's the programs? Where's this? This man had everything. Went to college.
Yeah.
And he grew up in he's from South Carolina. He grew up in a great neighborhood. It wasn't like, I'm in the ghetto in the hood.
Right.
His sister's a basketball player too.
Right.
So
right.
what, FBA, hold you out and start. Call me. Let me know if you need to take the stuff out of your uncle's home.
I'll keep you posted. Thank you. Okay, flamethrower tapping in. All right, folks, thank you for your support and for chiming in on this topic. Ja Morant has been suspended by the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes, he has. He has been sat down.